Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we will have the debate number 15 of the 50, sorry, of the about the Iron Man team against Captain America team. So we shall start. Let's go on with question number 1, please. Which of the shows more effective leadership in crisis situations, Iron Man or Captain America? You have 1 minute to answer. Okay, then, Team Iron Man, you have first. You can start first. Does anyone want to participate? Okay, maybe with Team Captain America. Yes, Sebastian.
Okay, so I think Captain America constantly shows superior leadership during crisis situations because he overall stays calm under pressure, unites people with trust and respect, thinks about the bigger picture and morality, not ego. I have a few examples. For example, in one of the movies, there's an invasion and Captain America immediately takes charge and organizes the team, even though Tony is more experienced. He gives clear, direct orders to each Avenger, including Iron Man. He follows his lead, and it results in victory because of the battlefield coordination and calm under pressure. And I have another example also from a different movie, where he's also taking the lead and taking charge over the team so that they could win.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Please, let's go with Roger online.
Leadership in crisis situations, because he leads with principle, calm under pressure, and the ability to unify a team, even in the most chaotic moments. For example, in Avengers: Infinity War, Cap leads the defense of Wakanda with courage and coordination despite overwhelming odds. His leadership is based in trust, respect, and collaboration, not control. Meanwhile, Tony Stark often acts alone and overrides others' opinions. His leadership style can be divisive, reactive, and emotionally driven, which leads to mistakes in critical situations. Thanks.
Okay, now please Adair, then Carlos.
I think that Iron Man shows better leadership because he makes fast decisions, uses technology to fix problems, and adapts to change. In movies like Avengers Endgame, Iron Man was very important to stop Thanos. His brain and his calm in hard times help to save the world.
Okay, now Carlos, please.
Compared with the Iron Man, Captain America is more effective in crisis leadership because the strength of this hero is calm under pressure, Steve stays level-headed even in chaotic scenarios. Team questions, he prioritizes unity, listens to others and delegates well. Moral compass is a strength also. His decisions are often guided by ethical clarity, which earns trust. Battlefield experience as a soldier, he's trained for crisis and shot quick and decisive thinking, while Iron Man is more individualistic. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Now let's go with Bruno, please, online.
Okay, thank you. Answering the question, Iron Man emphasizes exceptional crisis leadership through his unmatched ability, technological ingenuity, and willingness to make difficult decisions unclogged by rigid ideals. His ability to analyze situations swiftly, devise strategic solutions, and execute plans with precision makes him far more effective leader than, in this case, Steve Rogers or Captain America. In high-stake scenarios below are key arguments reinforcing why Tony Stark excels in crisis management over Captain America.
Thank you, Bruno. Please, Isis.
Captain America leadership in crisis situation is characterized by his ability to remain calm, inspire others, and act with unwavering ethical conscience. His authority comes not from power, but from example.
Thank you, Carla.
Well, Iron Man has a rapid decision making. He decides things under pressure movie of Avengers Endgame, he sacrificed himself for others, for the greater of the group, from the great of the group above his own life.
Thank you. Sebastian, please.
Okay, so I would also like to add to what my teammates have said. I think Iron Man has a great mind, but is not a great leader. I have also a few other examples in Infinity War. For example, he refuses to work with others effectively. He acts impulsively, and his leadership leads to them being uncoordinated and ultimately losing. Instead of uniting people, he tends to divide them, like in Civil War. And also Captain America, I think that his leadership is more effective because in Endgame, for example, he holds the team together for 5 years. While Tony gave up and started a family in isolation, Captain America runs support groups and tries to keep hope alive and works with others to keep the Avengers still functioning. So I think that's a great reflection of his leadership.
Thank you. Gabriel, please, online.
Okay, thank you. Answering this question, I want to say that Captain America demonstrates more effective leadership in crisis situations because he maintains moral clarity, emotional stability, and the ability to inspire trust in his team. Steve Rogers acts from fear principles, refusing to let fear or guilty dictate his decision. As we can see in the movie, on the other hand, Iron Man's actions are frequently driven by personal guilt, as clearly shown when he supported the Sokovia Accords, choosing a superficial solution that shifted the responsibility rather than truly solving underlying problems. Captain America's leadership stands out precisely because he seeks genuine solutions grounded in ethics rather than temporary relief or personal regret as Iron Man.
Thank you, Gabriel. Let's go with Gabriela, please.
Okay. So it's not accurate to say that Iron Man doesn't work well in a team, because in fact Iron Man is a key figure in the Avengers and often takes on important leadership goals. For example, Tony Stark provides the Avengers with resources, technology, and base of operation. He invests in his teammates' success, which is a crucial role of leader, and also sees who is better at what, doing what. And also, he's not just about, let's say, brute force, like others. He analyzes threats, develops plans, and coordinates team efforts during battles. And also, Iron Man pushes the Avengers to embrace not just new technologies or tactics, but also what they are good at, in order to keep ahead of their enemies.
Thank you, Gabriela. Joseph, please.
I believe that Captain America shows more either leadership with clear actions, unlike Iron Man signs clearly. His ego often makes him think about himself. That's all.
Thank you, Joseph. Now let's move on to question number 2, please. Is a leader who acts with logic and strategy like Iron Man better than one who prioritizes principles and values like Captain America? You have 1 minute to answer. Okay, let's proceed with the answers. Please, Roger.
Thank you. No, a leader who prioritizes principles and values like Captain America is more trustworthy and effective in the long term than one who only acts with logic and strategy like Iron Man. Logic without a moral compass can lead to dangerous decisions. Iron Man's strategic thinking gave us Ultron, a logical move that almost destroyed humanity. He also supported the Sokovia Accords out of fear and guilt, not because they were right. Captain America, on the other hand, lives from a place of integrity and conviction, which is essential when life and freedom are on the lines. His decisions are guided by what's right, not just what's efficient. He doesn't blindly follow orders. He thinks critically and ethically. And that's why I think it's a better leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Joseph, please.
I think that principles and values are what make a hero and fear or define his actions. Once again, I implies that Iron Man. Why that Iron Man thinks a lot about himself. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Stephanie, please.
Okay, in my opinion, yes, logical and strategic leadership like Iron Man is more effective in crisis. Captain America's values are noble, but without strategy, they create conflict. Iron Man feels solution, and Captain America creates division.
Thank you. And yes, Sebastian.
Okay, so I kind of disagree with what has been said right now. I think that especially in crisis, heroes are tested not only on intelligence but also in character. So I think that values and principles have to be prioritized in order to be more effective. Like my teammate said, that example about Iron Man supporting the Sokovia Accords out of guilt, calling it the logical step, but it later leads to division of the team, the imprisonment of allies, zero real improvement in global security. Instead, Captain America sees the bigger picture and says the safest hands are still our own, because he knows you can't surrender freedom and accountability to a flawed system. And he also defends Bucky not out of emotion, but because it's morally right. He seeks truth and justice instead of revenge or convenience. That's all.
Thank you. Leandro, you have the word.
Alright, answering to the question, I mainly think that a leader like Iron Man who acts with logic and strategy is better equipped to adapt to complex and rapidly changing situations and to make quick and better decisions. This is very useful due to the situations that the heroes get involved in the movies. And this pragmatic approach often results in more effective solutions and saves more lives when stakes are highest.
Thank you. Sindel, please.
I believe a leader like Captain América is better because values and principles create trust, which is essential in a team. While logic and strategy are important, they can become cold and disconnected. Captain America always chooses what's right, even when it's hard, and that inspires people to follow him. No, not out of fear or calculation, but out of respect and belief increases. You need a leader who doesn't just think but feels, stands firm, and bring people together. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sindel. Natalia, please.
Okay, so a leader who prioritizes principles and values like Captain America ensures a long-term trust, unity, and purpose. Logic and strategy are essential, but without ethics, they can become dangerous. Yes, we all know that Iron Man is a quick thinker, a tech genius, and good at solving complex problems, but his logic is often clouded by fear or guilt. For example, creating an Ultron or pushing the Sokovia Accords. His strategic decisions often backfire because they lack moral consciousness. Captain America shows that values and strategy don't have to be opposites. He's a brilliant strategist, but he won't compromise human dignity and freedom just to get the job done.
Thank you, Natalia. Gabriela.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that Iron Man's leadership is more practical and adaptable, and we have to think about a context where it's a complex world, where leaders must make quick and strategic decisions and innovate constantly. So Tony balances ethics with realism, knowing that rigid principles sometimes need also to be flexible to achieve a greater good. And second, the other team says that Captain America always put principles and value first, and that but I don't agree with this because we have to take into account that Captain America's loyalty to Bucky Barnes often clouds his judgment and leads him to make choices that harm the team and put others at risk. And his decision to protect Bucky in Captain America Civil War caused a rift among the Avengers and led to significant consequences. And also another time where we could see that he was going against some values like truth was when Steve knew that Bucky killed Tony Stark's parents, but he kept it as a secret, leading to a dramatic and devastating confrontation in Civil War. This lie deeply hurt Tony and further fractured the team.
Thank you, Gabriela. Gabriel, you have the word.
I want to add something. First, I want to say that a leader who prioritizes solid principles and values like Captain América can be even more effective, especially in the long term. Why? As we can see, Steve Rogers didn't just act correctly out of personal conviction. His integrity and determination transformed him into a true national symbol, transcending his role as a superhero. He even collaborated with the government by producing educational documentaries aimed at high school students, encouraging them to develop themselves and become better citizens. This demonstrates that his leadership was not limited to heroic acts alone, but also served as an inspiring role model for young people and society in general. By consistently adhering to his ethical principles, Captain America inspired trust and confidence, solidifying his position as an icon who positively influences people's everyday lives.
Thank you, Gabriel. Isis?
It's not just about logic and strategy versus principles and values. A truly effective leader in a crisis not only solves technical problems, but also knows how to sustain his team emotionally and morally. That's where Captain America excels.
Thank you. Adair, please.
I think that a little bit like Iron Man, who use logic and strategy, is better in hard situations. In crisis, we need more than good values. We need fast thinking plans. Iron Man stay calm and use his knowledge to save people. And there is a good phrase and say a good leader not only have values, he also fix problems.
Thank you, Adair. Sebastian?
Okay, I would like to add one last example about this logic without morality and how dangerous it could be. In Age of Ultron, for example, Tony Stark's logical idea was to build a peacekeeping AI to prevent future threats, and it resulted in Ultron, a genocidal AI who nearly destroyed the world, in which Captain America warned him and said every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die, which basically shows how he puts principles and values first. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Carla, please.
Well, I think that I am against his opinion, and I think that Captain America has a very slow decision making, and I think that Iron Man focuses more on results because he's a hero. He has to help the people. He has to save the world. So I also think that Captain America only focuses on the past of all what he lived. So he's not really in the context of the modern world that he's protecting. So I think that Iron Man is centered on the reality of people. So I think that's why he's a better leader.
Thank you, Carla. Natalia, please.
I want to answer something that the other team said. Sorry, just 1 minute.
Okay, well then, Leandro has the word.
All right, answering this, and complementing what my teammate Gabriela said, and answering what I said previously, I don't think that a leader like Captain America who prioritizes his values is anything in particular. Mainly because we can take the example of the movie Avengers Endgame, and Iron Man, in fact, Tony Stark is the one who devised this time heist plan. And I don't think that in case Steve Rogers was made to make this decision, I think that he wouldn't decide to do this time heist plan, because of course they explained that this could affect reality, this could affect some universes, and this is against his values. And as I was saying, I think that the fact that Iron Man made his decision, create this plan, reunite, help his team, and in the end, he made the ultimate sacrifice to defeat Thanos. That was the thing that led the Avengers team to the ultimate victory. I think that his leadership proves this in this very critical moment.
Thank you, Leandro. Roger, you have the word.
Thank you. Responding to the Iron Man team, we are not arguing that Tony is not an important figure, but he's more suitable as a member of the group, a supportive character. He's smart, and his fast reaction is essential to the Avengers. And yes, Cap can make bad decisions too. And yes, the way to hell is built with good intentions, but he's willing to compromise and listen to his teammates, which is the right path, almost always. He showed this in Civil War, almost signing the Accords, the Sokovia Accords. So in the topic of leadership, and what's right, Cap is the way to go. Tony is not a leader, he's a lone wolf, and he thrives that way. It's better for him. Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Bruno, please.
Iron Man, answering the question, Iron Man is the superior leadership because he prioritizes adaptability, strategy, and innovation over rigid idealism. While Captain America clings to principles, Iron Man understands that true leadership requires difficult decisions, quick problem solving, and long-term vision. His ability to anticipate risks, develop technological solutions, and make necessary sacrifices, as we saw in the movies, proving that logical, pragmatic leadership is more effective than underlying morality in crisis situations.
Thank you, Bruno. Isis.
Iron Man is brilliant, but his leadership is often individualistic, impulsive, and based on short-term calculation. Captain America, on the other hand, leads with consistency, confidence, and inspiration. Qualities that generate lasting loyalty and strong teams, even in the worst of times.
Okay, thank you, Isis. Gabriel, please.
Yes, I want to say something answering the comment from the against team. While we acknowledge that Tony Stark is a brilliant and courageous person and that he even sacrificed himself in Avengers Endgame, it's important to clarify that this event took place long after the Sokovia Accords. In this debate, we are not evaluating what happened at the end of the saga. We are focusing especially on the position both characters took during the Sokovia conflict. Therefore, using Tony's final sacrifice as an argument is not relevant in this context. What we are really discussing is who was right regarding the Sokovia Accords. And in that moment, we believe Captain America's stance was the correct one, rooted in personal responsibility, freedom of choice, and a justified distrust of potentially corrupt institutions.
Thank you, Gabriel. Leandro, please.
All right, answering these last arguments that the Captain America team were saying, I don't think that, in the first place, I don't think that Iron Man can be considered as a lone wolf, or the thing that I was saying, because I think that his leadership can be seen, of course, as I was saying in Avengers, and I think that we are discussing the leadership. I don't think that we have to just focus on one movie, because they share, I think, more than 10 movies in where they have arguments, they fight together, and all this kind of stuff. Let's remember that Iron Man, by the time he became Iron Man, he was with his life was already made. He was already a millionaire, he was already a playboy, a philanthropist. And I think that the fact that he was decided to sacrifice all his life, mainly, because he sacrificed his life, not just in Avengers, in game, since Avengers 1, I think that this talks a lot about how good he is, how good leadership he can pass. And I think that this is better than someone who puts his values and his personal principles or values over the things, over all the team, as Captain America did on the Civil War movie.
Thank you, Leandro. Okay, then let's move on to question number 3, please. Is it more important to have a leader who constantly questions himself, like Stark, or one who stands firm in his beliefs, like Rogers? You have 1 minute to prepare your answers. Okay, the teams can participate now, please. Yes, Roger.
Thank you. I think in times of crisis and moral conflict, is more important to have a leader who stands firm in his beliefs, like Steve. Constant self-doubt, like Tony Stark, often leads to hesitation, inconsistency, and decisions driven by fear or guilt. That's dangerous when people are depending on you. Stark's inability to trust himself is what created Ultron and later caused division in the Sokovia Accords. Steve Rogers, on the other hand, has a clear moral compass. He doesn't blindly follow orders. He follows what's right. That kind of leadership gives people clarity and strength, especially when the world is falling apart. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Gabriela, please.
Okay, so Tony Stark's habit of questioning his own decisions means he constantly learns and adapts. This self-reflection helps him to improve strategies and avoid repeating mistakes. For example, after creating Ultron, Tony takes responsibility and changes his approach, showing growth. Because by questioning assumptions, Iron Man drives innovation. A good leader can't think that he's always right. They have to consider what they did in order to change things that they did wrong, in order to be better.
Okay, thank you, Gabriela. Carlos, you have the word.
Okay, I think that it is strange a leader who stands firm in beliefs like Steve Rogers or Captain America. The strengths are provide clarity, direction, and more stability, earns deep trust and respect, unites people and under shared values, and a strong anchor during chaotic times. I think that's all.
Thank you, Carlos. Stephanie?
It's more important to have a leader who questions himself like Stark. Self-reflection leads to better decision and accountability. Rogers may stand firm, but refusing to adapt can be dangerous in complex situations.
Okay, thank you. Sebastian, please.
Okay, so I think to answer the question, the main argument It's more important to have a leader who stands firm in his beliefs, like Captain America, than one who constantly questions himself. Because in times of crisis, people don't follow doubt; they follow conviction, clarity, and consistency. And Captain America doesn't ignore new information; he instead adapts, but he never abandons his core values. A few examples of Iron Man constantly like flip-flops. For example, he pushed for the Sokovia Accords, like we said before, and then breaks them when it gets personal. He trusts the government and then hacks into it. He builds Ultron to protect the world, then regrets it. He gives Peter Parker dangerous technology, regrets it again. A leader who always questions himself can become paralyzed by guilt and indecision. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Roger, please.
Thank you. We know it's true that Tony Stark learns and adapts, but probably the problem is he only does this after the damage is done. He created Ultron thinking it was the right solution. It nearly wiped up humanity. He backed the Sokovia Accords, which split the Avengers and left the world in a vulnerable state. He learned, yes, but at the cost of others paying the price for mistakes. Rogers doesn't need to make a mess to know what's right. He thinks ahead, he listens to others, and acts from principles that don't shift with guilt or fear. He's consistent, reliable, and morally anchored. The kind of leader people can trust before disaster strikes. Tony's growth is admirable, but in leadership, especially in crisis, reactive learning isn't enough. What matters is the ability to lead with integrity from the start. And that's what Rogers brings every single time. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Anyone else wants to participate? Okay, then. Okay, Gabriel wants to participate.
Yes, I want to add something. We are not saying that questioning oneself is a bad thing. In fact, it's important to reflect and evaluate our decision to know if we are doing the right thing. However, in Tony Stark's case during Civil War, his self-doubt came more from guilty than from true ethical reflection. He felt responsible for what happened in Sokovia and for past mistakes like the creation of Ultron. That guilt drove him to support the Accords, not out of strategy, but as a way to ease his conscience. On the other hand, a leader with firm beliefs like Steve Rogers acts based on clear sense of duty and values. As we can see in the Avengers movie #1, we can see that if they don't act to protect the city, the effects can be very bad for the society because the Avengers act from their beliefs and not only for a sense of guilty or something like that.
Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriela, please.
Okay, so no leader is perfect from the beginning. Every great leader makes mistakes. What matters most is how they respond and grow. Tony Stark's creation of Ultron was a serious error, yeah, but he immediately took responsibility and worked to fix the problem. This shows not just accountability, but also maturity, qualities that are essential to effective leadership. In complex situations, it's impossible to always get everything right on the first try, and leaders must be willing to take risks, learn from their failures, and adapt quickly. And Tony's ability to learn and improve under pressure is what makes him a strong leader and resilient leader, which is more important. While Captain America often sticks rigidly to his principles, even when it causes division or conflict. While this is well-intentioned, this inflexibility can prevent necessary adaptation and compromise, which are crucial in leadership.
Thank you, Gabriela. Leandro, please.
All right. I think that in this case, Stark's willingness to reflect and change course. We have so many examples, such as when he destroys his suits in Iron Man 3 or accepted responsibility for Ultron's creation. There are some examples that can show that Iron Man can learn from his mistakes and puts greater good above his great ego that we know he has, unlike Captain America, because we have the clear example of the movie that they want to really focus about who did the truth about Bucky and his parents, to protect his friends, and he also refused to sign the Sokovia Accord to maintain his image of a good guy. I think that Stark in this case is willing to make bold and sometimes unpopular choices. His decision to sign the Sokovia Accord, it proved that he weighs his actions carefully and he's open to compromise for the sake of global safety, because he always does this. He always likes to put the global safety over even his entire life. This ability to question that and act decisively, and I really agree with what my teammates said, that a leader who is not born perfect is the mark true of a leader.
Thank you, Leandro. Roger, please.
Thank you. A question for Gabriela. A person that doesn't have or changes values constantly is a good person. If it's a good person or not, would you like to be under that person's leadership? Wouldn't you like to be with someone that has values but listens to his teams, that doesn't have a big ego, that doesn't go out of his way to satisfy the things that he likes, or to pacify the feeling that he have regarding things that he had done that went bad? That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Now let's move on to question number 4, please. What kind of leader does today's world need most? A technological and pragmatic one, or an ethical and traditional one? You have 1 minute to prepare your answers. Okay, then, now you can participate. First, Sebastian, please.
So to answer the question, I think that today's world doesn't just need a leader who is technological and pragmatic. It needs one who is ethical, grounded, and driven by unshakable values, like Captain America. Because in a world of constant innovation, political confusion, and ethical gray areas, technology alone is not enough. We need leaders who know when to act, why to act, and for whom they're acting. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Leandro?
All right, answering to the question, I really think that today's world needs a technological and pragmatic leader more than ever, because we are in an era defined by rapid innovation, global challenges, and constant change. Leaders like Iron Man, who for example, embrace technology and he adapt quickly, as we were saying, and make data-driven decisions, are best equipped to solve complex problems. These pragmatic leaders, I don't think that they are just visionaries. They are more like action-oriented, and they are, of course, willing to take calculated risks and able to implement solutions that keep the pace with the world's evolving demands.
Thank you, Leandro. Stephanie?
Okay. Today's world needs a technological and pragmatic leader with global change like climate change, AI, and security threats. We need leaders who innovate, adapt, and solve problems effectively, like Star traditional alone can handle today's complexity.
Thank you. Carla, please.
Well, I think that in today's world, we need leader who understand technology, because if she has more knowledge, it leads to take the right decisions. And it also is important to have a critical thinking. And I have a question for the other group. Don't you think that Captain America's insistence on doing what is right lead to missed opportunities for collaboration with the others who are in the group with different perspectives?
Thank you. Bruno, please, you have the word.
Well, in fast-changing world, a technological and pragmatic leader is essential for driving innovation, adaptability, and problem solving. Unlike traditional leadership based purely on values, a pragmatic leadership analyzes data, embraces new technology, and makes calculated decisions to address global challenges efficiently. Their ability to anticipate risk, implement future-oriented solutions, and prioritize technological advancements ensure long-term sustainability and success.
Thank you, Bruno. Carlos?
I think that the world needs leadership is ethical and value-driven leadership because strong values inspire unity and sacrifice. In Infinity War and Endgame, Captain unites heroes through moral leadership. That's important. Even those who disagree with him, other thing is people don't just follow skill and strategy, we follow convictions. And today world needs a leader who remind people that what they're fighting for, not just what they're fighting against.
Thank you. Isis, please.
Today, world needs technological leaders, yes, and what more than ever it needs ethical leaders. Technology is advancing at an impressive speed, but without clear principles to guide it, it can be misuse the humanity or even dangerous.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Okay, to add up also the last thing I wanted to add about this was that yes, technology is part of the solution, but it is not the answer on its own, because as my teammate said, without ethical leadership, technology becomes a tool for control instead of for progress. I wanted to clarify that.
Thank you. Adair?
I'm going to complete to my classmate. I think Iron Man is a kind leader. He doesn't only talk, he builds, acts, and gives real results. A traditional leader like Captain America have good values, good that it's not in good now. The world needs smart action and fast thinking.
Thank you. Michelle, please.
I think the world needs a leader like Tony. He built more than suits. He created clean energy, advanced AIs, and defenses for Earth. His legacy lives on Spider-Man and other superheroes.
Thank you, Michelle. Roger, please.
Thank you. I think traditional one, of course. What kind of question is that? We were asked a question, and who wouldn't want a good person with strong values on his side? What kind of question was that? A leader is a leader who inspires, leads, and takes your hand and walks with you every step of the walk to success. In fiction, of course, you like someone like Tony Stark, but you don't like the opinions of Elon Musk, you don't like the opinions of Donald Trump, but you like these charismatic leaders that are not leaders, they are lone wolves, and you think it's a good argument to ask, to think up if it is a good thing that he has values and doesn't change. We need people like that. We don't need people like constantly changing values. It's not a good leader. It's just a troubled person. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Gabriel, please.
Okay, first I want to say a comment, and after I am going to give a question for the against team. First, we can say that Captain America is a simple traditional leader. Even though he comes from another era, he didn't stay stuck in the past. He adapted to a new world, despite being frozen for 70 years, and still chose to keep serving, learning, and fighting for what is right. This shows that he's not just a traditional leader, but one who can adapt to change without losing his values. And that's the kind of leadership the world needs today. In his movies, we also see him using technology, which has proven useful in many missions. So we don't view him as disconnected from the modern advancement, but right there as someone with a clear moral foundation who has successfully adapted to using technology in meaningful ways. And I want to ask for the against teams, and this is the question. Isn't a good leader someone who adapts to change, even when it's difficult? Doesn't that show resilience or leadership?
Thank you, Gabriel. Does anyone else wants to participate? Yes, Carla.
When answering his question, I think that first his context is different because Captain America came from the past, and he has tradition and values. And so in today's world and the modernity, it is not that valuable because he didn't learn it, and he didn't live in the age of AI and this kind of stuff that is really confusing. So I think that a person that really understands technology could also have a better understanding of how to act with the moral rights, which is better from our society. That's the answer.
Thank you, Carla. Now let's go with the conclusions. You have 2 minutes to prepare your answers. Okay, then, now let's present your conclusions. Captain America, you go first.
Okay, so to conclude, in today's fast-paced, uncertain world, the most essential quality in a leader is not a technological brilliance or strategic impulsiveness. It is unwavering moral integrity. Captain America represents the kind of leadership built on ethics, courage, and deeply held principles. While pragmatic reactive leadership may offer short-term solutions, it often lacks the stability and trustworthiness needed to inspire and unite people. Captain America leads not by controlling outcomes, but by setting a standard, showing that values like justice, honesty, and responsibility are not outdated but vital. He does not seek power but respects it. He does not act out of fear but out of conviction. In contrast, a leader who constantly questions himself, acts on emotion, or depends on technological risks, losing sight of what truly matters, the people. In moments of crisis, when the stakes are highest, it is not innovation alone that carries us forward. It is trust, character, and the ability to stand firm in what is right. That is why Captain America is not just a better leader, he is the kind of leader that the world needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Now, Iron Man team, please.
Our final conclusion is Captain America's leadership embodies a strong principle and moral integrity, emphasizing the importance of doing what is right. His unwavering commitment foster trust and loyalty within his team, crucial in today's world filled with ethical dilemmas. By prioritizing teamwork and collaboration, he highlights the value of a unity in achieving common goals. In an area where moral clarity can be challenges, Captain America's approach serves as a model for contemporary leaders. It encourages them to balance ideals with adaptability, inspiring them to lead with integrity and purpose while fostering inclusive environment. His leadership style remains a guiding light for those navigating complex challenges today.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Okay, this was the debate number 50, Captain America versus Iron Man. Let's give ourselves some applause.